our Thanksgiving break, who can tell me what we were learning about? Jace?
Prime factorization.
Prime factorization. Laura?
We were learning about factor trees.
Factor trees. What is prime factorization and factor trees? What is it all relating? What were we focused on? Multiply, multiplication. And what did I tell you we were going to start after Thanksgiving? Ashley? Division. So today we will begin talking about division. Who can read today's objective? It's on the board. Michaela?
Solve division word problems with remainders.
Solve division word problems with remainders. That is our objective. Our brain's working. We're going to start today with a sprint. All right, take sprint A is in the middle of your table. Everyone take sprint A. 2, 1, and start. All right, boys and girls, what do you say when you get it right?
Yes.
What do you do when you get it right?
Yes.
What do you say when you get it wrong?
Nothing.
What do you do when you get it wrong?
Circle it.
All right, let's begin checking. 4.
Yes.
4.
Yes.
8.
Yes.
8.
Yes.
12.
Yes.
12.
Yes.
16.
Yes.
20.
Yes.
All right, let's go over the vocabulary that we're going to use today. When we talk about division, we use some precise vocabulary. If you look up at the board, I have 13 divided by 2 equals 6, remainder 1. Hopefully by the end of this lesson, you will fully understand what that division expression is. Something new there? All right. We're going to punch it today. We're going to show one finger for each multiple. And we're going to count by 2 until we get to 8. So class, let's punch it. 2, 4, 6, 8. I'm going to count to 3. Let's punch it. 1, 2, 3. 2, 4, 6, 8. Look at your fingers. What are you holding up, class?
4.
4. So that tells us our quotient is 4. Let's do another one and punch it. All right? When you look at this, 12 divided by 2 means we're going to skip count by 2, and we're going to stop at 12. Let's start. In 3, 2, 1, punch it.
2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12.
Stop. Class, how many fingers are you holding up?
6.
So that tells me if we know 6 times 2 equals 12, then 12 divided by 2 equals 6. Who thinks they could come up to the board and show the class how to do 14 divided by 2? Laura? Tell them what their skip counting by and when to stop.
You're going to skip count by 2 and you're going to stop when you get to 14.
All right, class? Watch Laura. In 3, 2, 1, go.
2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14.
Stop. Very good. How many fingers should they be holding up?
They should be holding up 7.
Why? Why is 7 the answer?
Because when you multiply 2 to get to 14, there's 7.
Okay. So 14 divided by 2 is. What about this question? How many groups of 5 are in 10? Caitlin?
5.
Oh, read it again. How many groups of 5 are in 10? 2. Why? Let's look at this first word problem. We're going to do it together as a class. As I do it on the board, I want you to do it on your whiteboard. There are 12 students in each class, separated into 4 teams. How many students are on each team? Let's think about that. We're going to use the RDW strategy. What does R stand for? Read. Very good. What does D stand for, Ashley? Draw. So we've read it. Now we need to draw. We're going to draw for division. We're going to use an array. All right, so if it says there are 12 students in PE class separated into 4 teams, First thing, I know I'm going to have to draw an array with 12 dots. And I'm going to have to separate the array into 4 teams. So let's do rows of 4 and make until we get to 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Everyone draw an array on your board. 1, 2, 3, 4. I just separated my 12 students into 4 teams. By doing that, I answered the question to the word problem. How many students are on each team? How did that array help me? What is the answer? Michaela? 3. The answer or the quotient is 3. How did you figure that out?
Because 4 times 3 equals 12.
So the multiplication fact that you previously learned has helped you. How did the array help you? What do you see with the array that helped you? Brandon?
I need a new one.
Okay, Luke?
You're working it out.
You're working it out. Devin?
I saw that there were only 3 people in each group that I circled.
Very good. To do the W. What does W stand for? Lena? Work it out and write. For work it out, we need to write a division expression. We need to have a division expression that has a dividend, a divisor, and a quotient. Take a minute, discuss with your partner, what will your division expression What is the expression for this word problem going to be? Jenny?
12 divided by 4 equals 3.
Perfect. 12 divided by 4 equals 3. That is the expression. What does the 3 represent from the word problem? Don't say it represents the quotient. What does it represent based on the word problem? Chase.
Students on each team.
Very good. How many students are on each team? This time, we're going to do a word problem, a 2-digit number divided by a 1-digit number. But this time, it's the word problem will give you a remainder. So it's going to sound very similar to what we just did. There are now 13 students to be divided into 4 teams. So we had 12, and now a new student came along, and now there are 13 students that need to be divided into 4 teams. I want you to draw an array, talk with your table, draw an array to find out how many students are on each team. 2. All right, boys and girls, what did you find out when you were doing this? What did you discover? Maggie? You will have a remainder. How many will be remaining? 1. What would your expression be, Caitlin?
13 divided by 4 equals 1 remainder.
Very good. She says our expression is going to be 13 divided by 4 equals 3 with a remainder of 1. The array that I drew when we had 12 looks very similar to an array we drew when we went to 13 because we still had 4 teams with 3 students in each team. What does that remainder represent? What does that remainder represent? Devin.
It represents the person that joins afterwards.
It's the extra person that joined afterwards. What does the quotient represent in this story? The remainder is the extra person. What does the quotient of 3 represent? Let's see. Let's call on someone named Brandon.
The person who joined in last.
That is the remainder. What does the 3 represent?
Oh, the team.
The teams. How many people are in each
Team.
If I have this expression on the board, erase your board, and I want you to write just the expression. 13 divided by 4 gives you a quotient of 3 and a remainder of 1. Discuss at your table, how can we solve this using multiplication? Quickly, Luke. I don't hear you talking. Discuss with your table and your partner, how can we use multiplication to check the division? Quickly.
So we just have to turn around the stack and switch out the one.
So, well, let's think about it. Right equals, and we can put a question mark there. Unknown. What do we know about parentheses? You do what's inside the parentheses first, right? So what's 4 times 3? 12. And 12 plus 1 is? 13. There you go. Very good. Let me borrow your. You can do 4 times 3 and put it inside of parentheses. And then what would you do?
Put a plus 1. And then we put a equals and a question mark.
Okay.
And then, so when you do parentheses, you always start with the one that's in parentheses. So 4 times 3 is 12. And then you add 1 to it, which would equal 13. So you change 13. You would replace the question mark with 13.
Very good. You have shared one paper. All of you will write your names on that one paper. This will be a classwork grade. There are 2 very similar word problems on that worksheet. What you're going to do is you're going to solve both using the RDW strategy, and then you're going to tell me how these word problems are different. I will be walking around to answer questions and to see how well you and your partner work together to solve these division problems that will have remainder.
It was 12. Oh, yeah. So like, what's your number? Chase. It says what is your number? 21. 1 left.
Yeah, because we know that 2 times 6 is 12.
Very good. Now with your array, I see y'all drew 13 in your array, but I didn't see y'all circle anything. How would you circle it? If she put 6 roses in each vase, how are you going to circle your array to represent that you will use 2 vases?
13.
Okay.
13 divided by 2.
Well, we should probably help each other out. How many vases will she use?
All right. So I want you to go ahead, fill in the sentence, write a sentence that answers it, and then I want you to go over here and see how the 2 word problems are different. Okay? Tell me what we have learned about today. What have you learned about today? Maggie? We learned about remainders. Anyone want to expand on that? Allison?
We learned about division and how it can have remainders.
Very good. We learned about division and how it can have remainders. Problems. Meredith? And array. How does an array help us figure out the remainder? Devin? Any part of the array, any of the dots in the array that are not used are called the remainder because they are left over. Okay, boys and girls? Today, we're going to wrap up this lesson by doing a word problem independently. And that word problem is in the middle of your table. It says exit ticket. Leave it in the middle. It says solve the following problem. Use the RDW process. Who can remind me, what does RDW stand for? Let's have Luke. What does RDW stand for?
Read, draw, write.
Read, draw. I want you to begin working on it. I'll be walking around to check your work. And once we wrap it up, we're going to get our homework out. Begin.